Crypto fam, what's up? It is far from over, but there's still shit that could hit the fan, proverbially, of course. We got a lot to talk about, the latest news, the macro stuff. We got the Fed stuff. We got lots of good crypto-specific news, which is such a weird paradox right now. All this good stuff keeps happening for the cryptocurrency markets, and yet macro just keeps screwing us over, man. Geopolitics just keeps screwing us over. Can't we just get a nice bull run for 6 months straight? Come on. Too much to ask? Probably. Anyway, we'll be answering your questions second half of the stream. It's going to be a good one. We got a lot of juicy stuff to talk about. Welcome to everybody joining the chat. John, Lark Grown, Ohio. What's up, man? Hat and Cloak, Sue. How's it going? Matthew, Nuno. Julian, what's up? Steve-O, Eat My Guns. Daz, nice to see everybody. Let's go ahead and get into it. So first and foremost, this hit the wire a few hours ago. Trump has privately approved attack plans for Iran, but has withheld the final order. God, man. U.S. presidents, man, they just can't help themselves, can they? Everybody's got to start a war, don't they? It's be Trump's war, I guess. I hope he doesn't do it. Final order still withheld. You know, it's not going to be as simple as let's just drop some bunker buster bombs and then hope nothing happens. The market doesn't like that. I know, Josh. Private stuff is one of those organized leaks. Don't tell anybody. Tell everybody. But I'm not going to say it. You guys say it. And then sources close to the White House say. Anyway. We can see stocks don't particularly love that so far. They're down a little bit. Again, this is not, the market's pricing in World War III and the end of everything, right? This market is just not liking what's going on. S&P 500 down 0.4% in pre-market trading, still about 3% away from a new all-time high, okay? Just FYI, that's absolutely insane. Nuts. Anyway, oil also has been pumping today. So this, much as an inverse to yesterday where stocks were pumping but oil was dumping because the markets was like, whatever, nothing's going to happen. Today, market's like, oh shit, maybe something's going to happen. Oil pumping 1.42% and stocks down 0.5 percentage point today. Now, again, this is not end of the world, World War III, everything's over kind of moves in the market. This is kind of market saying, we are slightly concerned and are monitoring the situation, okay? That's about where we are right now. Nothing too much to worry about so far, but this has markets on edge. People are starting to get paired. The fear is creeping in, man. I've got the fear. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Great movie, man. Great movie. Came home one day. I must have been like 16. Had just been out tripping all night with my buddies, as you do when you're a teenager. And it's like 9 in the morning. My mom puts on Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I feel like that was her way of telling me that she knew. Anyway, random story from my life there. Front runners. Let's talk about the Fed. Overview of Federal Reserve decision. Fed keeps rates unchanged for the 4th meeting in a row. Fed notes that while uncertainty has decreased, it remains at a significant level. Growth outlook for 2025 cut to 1.4%, although Q2, again, absolutely raging. Let's see how Q3 turns out when we start seeing all the inflation stuff coming in, okay? Bats, look at the bats. You know what I'm talking about, Huckleberry. Inflation now seen at 3%. 3% inflation is not a big deal, okay? Ideally, you want the growth to be a little higher than 1.4%, but it's also not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Median Federal Reserve outlook anticipates a total of 50 basis points of cuts in 2025. Markets increasingly betting on a first cut coming in September. Median forecast sees rates at 3.6% by 2026 and 3.4% by 2027. Fed holding its ground even as Trump ramps up pressure with calls for 100 basis points in cuts. It's worth. It took too much, man. Too much. It's such a good movie. Anyway, LSD. Anyway. I see expat in Avignon, on La France. Here's a reminder for everybody. Until I get sidetracked here. Here's a reminder for everybody. From 1994 to 2000, interest rates were over 4% the entire time. That coincided with the greatest stock market pump basically of all time. That was the .com bubble. We are in the .ai bubble and the .crypto bubble right now, with things set to get absolutely freaking crazy. And everybody's counting on the 4-year cycle. I just saw a post, guys like, final pumps here. We're going up to 125 and that's it. Market cycle over. We're done. Maybe. I mean, maybe. You always got to stay open to possibilities. But as I've been saying, the most wild possibility that nobody seems to want to entertain even is that we're going to follow the gold ETF parallel, that crypto markets, Bitcoin is going to pump literally for years. Crypto is going to pump literally for years. And time-based capitulation will be a much more common thing versus price-based capitulation. And we're not going to have, the big bear market maybe for a few more years when stocks have their bear market, because increasingly we're becoming correlated to the stock market and the fate of the stock market. Remains to be a proven theory. We'll only know in a few years if it's right. If 2026 is the bear market of bear markets, well, then I guess the 4-year cyclers did it again. Guys, let's give away some money. $1,000 today again. Thanks to the guys over at BitUnix. Look, if you are trading crypto, that's you. You're trading crypto. I know. I'm trading. You're trading. Everyone's having a good time trading. You want a great place to do your trading at? Well, BitUnix is where I'm doing most of my trading these days. You can long the rips, short the dips, big altcoins, exotic altcoins, meme coins. They got your dog coins. They got your penguin coins. Whatever animal you're into, they probably got it listed over there for you. And they have some of the same deals right now. Also, no KYC, no VPN, meaning it's available to literally anyone, anywhere. That means you. So check it out. Up to $2,000 in trading bonuses. $400 in deposit bonuses. So this is the most crazy one. You deposit $1,000, you get $200 back. You deposit $2,000, you give $400 back into your account. That's crazy. Plus, you're giving away $1,000 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 5 days a week. Every live stream, we're giving away $1,000. So let's do it today. We have, as usual, excluding anybody who's deposited $10 or less. Some people trying to game the system here. $10 or less deposit does not qualify you for the $500 giveaway. 2 people winning $500 today. We have 209 participants for this particular giveaway. So let's ask Grok to choose some random numbers for us. Grok, what do you got? What do you got for us, buddy? 134, 187. 187. Ooh, $2,000 deposit. That guy got $400 for his $2,000 deposit. Congratulations. Plus an extra $500. That's almost a 50% return on your deposit. That's crazy. Obviously, if you want to be participating in that, all you have to do is sign up to BitUnix, and you'll be in the draw this week to win in the next live stream or next week's live streams. Okay? So it's all random. If you guys want to be participating in the giveaways, just sign up to BitUnix. There's a link down below. 751473154. That's the user ID of the winner of this $500. Obviously, we're not using email addresses because no KYC exchange. We're keep serving people's privacy, so you have to check your user ID. If you are the winner, you have to go to the My Rewards tab to claim that. It'll be a few hours before the team gets it up there, but they do this every day. They put it up there, so maybe just check back tomorrow for your $500. Okay, it was 187 and 134 was the other winner. 134 here. Oh, nice. I love to see it. Look at that, man. This dude deposits $288 and he wins 500. Doubled your money, man. Let's go. Let's go. That's awesome. Good shit. Okay, let's talk about Bitcoin. While the world is melting down and everyone's losing their minds, oh my gosh, what's going to happen in Iran? Is America going to drop a bomb in Iran? Are they going to strut the Straits of Hormuz? Is World War III going to happen? Wall Street just bought $1 billion of Bitcoin again this week. Doesn't feel like they are doesn't feel like they're about to price in World War III here. Otherwise they'd be selling their Bitcoin, wouldn't they? Instead they're buying. Fascinating behavior. Let's look at the ETH ETFs just real quick, by the way. Been such a crazy week. Even ETH ETFs are getting inflows now. Very minor inflows. We've only had about 50 million of inflows versus $1 billion for Bitcoin. Still, Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes. People investing in BlackRock or Wall Street ETFs, obviously it's not the actual companies themselves, see BlackRock, Fidelity, Bitwise. These are all companies that provide ETFs. And then regular people, whether that be institutions or family offices or endowments or whatever, they come and buy the ETF products, not BlackRock themselves actually buying the ETF. A common misconception. But anyway, we're seeing huge inflows this week, $1 billion of Wall Street money coming into Bitcoin. Crazy stuff. Then we have this healthcare, another one. Healthcare company Prenetics announced a Bitcoin treasury strategy, purchasing 187 Bitcoin worth $20 million in its first buy. You know, look, I get it, man. It's not like, oh, only $20 million. Just some company buying $20 million worth of Bitcoin. Who the hell cares? It's a pretty big deal because every single day, basically, we're getting a company like this announced. A company is buying 50 Bitcoin, 100 Bitcoin, 200 Bitcoin, $500 million worth of Bitcoin. It all adds up. Price of Bitcoin right now still in the triangle. We're in the triangle, guys. Right at the bottom of it, we're still in the triangle. 50-day EMA still holding, okay? Here's the deal, though. Here's the dealio. Look, if we lose the triangle, the downside target for this is like lower 90s. So let's say the 200-day EMA around $93,000 becomes a pretty good target area. So that's if we break down the breakouts to the downside. Breakout to the upside, okay? That takes us up over $120,000. That's obviously the one we want. And even a couple positive tweets about some kind of conflict resolution could probably move us in that direction. If Trump starts bombing Iran, I mean, how much of that's already been priced in? Hard to say. But if he starts doing it, probably at least while it's happening, we see a big market dip. And then, of course, if there's a retaliation, what if Iran then launches a bunch of missiles and blows up a bunch of U.S. aircraft carriers and shit in the Persian Gulf? I mean, markets are gonna fucking hate it. That's not the kind of shit markets like, okay? So let's see what happens, obviously. A lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear. Markets don't like uncertainty. Markets don't like fear. Apparently, the stock markets don't really care that much. Crypto markets also don't really care that much. I mean, I know your altcoin bags are fucked, but that's a different story. Bitcoin is looking okay, man. For perspective, is what, 7-8% down from all-time highs? It's not that big of a deal. The question is whether or not all that bad shit happens, we break down to the lower 90s, which would not be that crazy, but it could happen. Okay, just FYI. Prepare yourself for that eventuality. Let's watch for the 50-day EMA to continue to hold as support. Let's watch for us to keep the price within this triangle, okay? That's the key thing to keep an eye on right now. Moonwalker, everything right now bullish for crypto. Banks can handle crypto. Genius Act passing the Senate. Spot ETFs for SUI, AVAX, and more are coming. Solana, etc. SEC finally pro-innovation. Ignore the noise. This is the moment. We are in the wild. I've got actually a video literally on this. We are in such an insane paradox right now. We're in such an insane paradox right now where it's literally never been more bullish for crypto. Literally never been more bullish for crypto. And yet, Justin, your number one Facebook viewer here. Justin, what is up, man? Yes. We stream these on Facebook as well. Nice to see you, man. Love it. Welcome back. I started streaming these recently. I realized that my connection to Facebook had gone offline on StreamYards. We're back. We're back on Facebook, man. My mates in Tel Aviv, there's thousands of dead and people still buried. It's bad, man. It's bad. It's absolute bad shit right now. I hope the bomb dropping stops soon. Free says China and Russia will help Iran if the USA gets involved. Was announced earlier. More China cargo planes landed in Iran over the past several hours. Yeah. You know, the U.S. has been funneling probably missile defense stuff into Israel. China's sending cargo planes full of probably missile defense stuff into Iran. And yes, it's a flashpoint. That's the worry right now, is that if the USA starts bombing Iran, well, then what? Then what? Do China and Russia say, well, if you do that again, we're going to fucking nuke you? Or, Russia's pretty tapped out right now, man. They're get their hands full in Ukraine, don't they? Maybe this was the plan all along. Anyway, China. Are they going to drag China into it? I don't know. And this is the fear. Guys, geopolitics is highly complicated. And even though I studied this shit for years and am very much a monitor of the situation in these situations, nobody knows what the hell's going to happen. It's all a bit unpredictable. Last night, there were Iranian government planes that flew into Oman, ostensibly for some kind of negotiating or at least meeting with the other side, with the Americans. Of course, the Ayatollah's like, we're not going to negotiate with anybody. But then they're like, yeah, bro, your plane's full of probably negotiators are going. Or it's just, people getting their families out because then everything's fucked. It's also a possibility. Anyway, crazy things are happening. Let's pray that peace comes sooner than later, okay? By the way, speaking of Facebook, guys, go check out the Facebook group. It's awesome. We're posting all kinds of cool stuff over here all the time, whether it be just hilarious memes or actual, charts with technical analysis. Okay, so if you want to join that, go check it out. There's a link down below here. Okay, I know you guys are hanging on Facebook anyway. Go check it out. Seriously, it's a good group. Okay, CryptoRust, Klarna. Who names their company Klarna? Anyway, Klarna will reportedly accept Bitcoin and crypto with built-in wallet support on the way. 85 million users and $100 billion in annual volume. This is insane. PayPal, Stripe, Klarna announcing. Meta, Facebook is probably going to launch a stablecoin soon, okay? Amazon, Walmart are in discussions about it. All the big commercial banks in the USA. Literally the craziest stuff possible, okay? Moomin Kiwi, Swedish. Oh, it's a Swedish company. Okay. Probably means like, flower, octopus or something in Swedish then. Klarna is in massive debt and they're on the verge of bankruptcy. Well, maybe this is their Hail Mary pass. Let's see if we can get some crypto people coming in and buying stuff. But still, regardless, 85 million users. And even if, okay, they go into bankruptcy, they have to sell to Stripe or to PayPal or to Amazon. Guess what? They take all that crypto stuff over there with them, okay? Klarna is Swedish and means to clear up. Oh, okay, there you go. There you go. Fantastic. Lark, did you watch Superman talking trash about you? No, it's unfortunate. I don't know what. People need to get hobbies, man. I'm not interested in engaging in drama. I don't know what his problem is. That's unfortunate. Oh well. People are gonna talk shit. People love talking shit. C'est la vie, man. C'est la vie. What are you gonna do? One of those things. Do you want to engage in drama? Do you want to talk shit on people? Or do you want to make money? Realistically, I'm here to make money as an investor. I'm sure you guys are as well. It's easy to engage in the drama. There's always drama to engage in. There's influencer drama all the time over on crypto Twitter. There's influencer drama all the time everywhere. Who cares? Who cares, man? Personalities talking shit at each other. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Irrelevant stuff. Anyway, we got to keep going. We're up to 18 minutes here. Lion Group Holdings secures $600 million to launch hyper-liquid treasury. That's pretty crazy. Apparently, they're also going to be buying Solana and Sui. Very interesting. I think this is the third company. I think this is the third company that has announced a hype strategy. So interesting. Very interesting. I think that these high treasury companies for coins like Hype have probably a lot more impact than the treasury companies launch. I mean, it's more launch for Bitcoin, so yeah, it's got a big impact too. But there's a lot of outsized impact that can happen on these smaller market cap coins. What's Hyperliquid? A $10 billion current circulating market cap. FTV is higher, but I mean, if these guys were to buy 500 million of Hype, I mean, that's 3 or 4% of the supply or something like that. That's pretty crazy, right? Anyway, that being said, currently Hyperliquid is putting in a bearish RSI divergence with the price hitting a higher peak while the RSI is hitting a lower peak. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to zero straight away or anything like that, and it's a very popular coin right now, obviously. But if we start losing this 20-day EMA, we could see a more significant correction coming in here for Hyperliquid in the not-so-distant future, potentially coming back down to the 50-day at $32 or even back down to the sort of $25 to $28 area, which is previous price resistance here and here. So let's see. Let's see. My plume bags are on life support. Should I pull the plug? Gosh, been thinking about it. The thoughts doesn't cross. I have one of my buddies who's a whale in plume, and he's kind of like, yeah, I'm going to get out on this stuff. Ever since that co-founder dude passed away, I mean, look, all altcoins are smashed right now. It's not just plume, okay? But it certainly has been down only for weeks on end. It's been pretty brutal. A lot of coins like that, but damn, this one, you know, look at this. Plume versus hype. Hype's literally been up only, and yeah, sure, it might face a short-term correction, but then it blasts up higher, right? Corrections are normal. Let's see. Obviously, if we keep holding the 20-day EMA, I mean, now's the spot to bid, in theory. 20-day EMA retest here. Okay? Definitely a 50-day EMA retest, but again, be a logical spot to bid. It's not to say, okay, Hyperliquid's bad. Everyone loves Hyperliquid. It's very popular. Very strong charts overall. Get pullbacks, those kind of levels, those become bid zones, not dump zones, right? Anyway, we'll see how that plays out. But we do have our bearish RSI divergence. And they have, again, I think 3 treasury companies that have announced bringing hundreds of millions of dollars into hype, which is pretty crazy. To see such a new altcoin getting treasury strategy companies launched, it's just nuts, man. It's nuts what's going on. Solana Institute submitted a legal framework for tokenized equities to the SEC. 24/7 tokenized equities are coming to Solana. Salami to the moon. Let's go, Salami coin. Fantastic. Lark, do you see the SEC approving staking? If so, could Lido and JTO catch a bid? I guess if they let Sol stake and they'll let ETH too. I could absolutely see that. I think, in fact, is Jido going to be like the technology part? Is it Jido or is it Marinade that's going to be the technology partner for the Solana staking? I mean, that's big potential, right? Lido, yeah, probably as well. Probably does pretty good. Yeah, and I think you're right. If Solana staking is allowed, then ETH staking will be allowed too. So it's just a question of, there's little things, you know, okay, so if you're staking, like what, I mean, redemptions and stuff come into play. Think about like Ethereum. Ethereum's got a, what do you call it? An unstaking queue. So obviously they have to use Lido. What if there's too much demand? What if there's too many ETH and too many people want to exit at the same time? What's that going to, I mean, there's things that need to be accounted for here. It's not just as simple as a spot with no staking. But I think staking will come. I could see a situation where the SEC is going to approve Solana ETFs without staking first, and we get staking later. That wouldn't surprise me either. Lark, I bought Chainlink at $48. Will I ever get my money back? One day. One day. But fuck, that's a rough ride, man. You're down 75%. When the hell was Chainlink $48? Is that 2021? Holy cow. Jeremy, that's been a crazy ride, man. Look, I think Chainlink's a bullish asset overall. It's definitely a slow burner. It's not one of those ones that has like big hype pumps, but it'll grind. It'll grind. Whenever we get a adequate risk on season, Chainlink will probably go to new highs and maybe even double your money. I'm praying for your bags, man. Praying for it. Solana. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to maybe leave a couple stories behind here. Solana, look at this. Now we might get a move down here into this sort of 140, 141 zone again. That would be basically a triple bottom if that happens. But this is the key area to hold here for Solana. Now, look, it's not looking fantastic right now. 20 and 50-day EMA is trending strongly down. Rejected the 20-day EMA 3 days ago. Not fantastic here for Solana. In spite of the potential for an ETF coming soon, it ain't looking super pretty right now, okay? Let's see. That can change real fast. This is critical support to hold. You get back above the 20-day EMA. That's around 153 right now. And then you're going to be seeing bats, guys. Bats, man. It's bat country. Ethereum. What the hell is going on with this Ethereum chart, man? No, seriously, look at this thing. We have just been stuck in this wild range for a long time. Now, again, the breakdown target's $2,100. The break up target, the upside breakout target, is around $3,000. Which way, Western man? Which way? This is crazy. Any retests of the 200-day EMA, it's around 224.75 right now, are probably buying opportunities. You know, again, unless Donald Trump's bombing the shit out of Iran, then prices could go lower than you think. If you are going to buy the 200-day EMA for a long position, then keep in mind you'll need to be running a stop loss on that. And probably a logical place is probably down here in like $2,400, which would be under the 50-day EMA as well. So assuming if you break through the 200, you come back down here, it does 2440. And then right down in here, it basically invalidate the EMAs and say, yeah, we could be going much lower. Okay. Okay. Guys, I know what you're thinking. Crypto's been sucking. You should buy some stocks. Yes, you should. Ideally, crypto stocks, not stock advice, obviously, but it's insane, man. Circle is up 20% yesterday. Coinbase up 14%. And what's wild about this is that Circle, if you got into the IPO, I did not get into the IPO. Asked my broker, and he's then a week later, he's like, oh, it's 20x, $5 there were subscribers. I said, that's why I asked you last week. Anyway, what's crazy is that it's almost a 10x for IPO investors in 2 weeks. That's crazy bonkers stuff, man. When's a crypto coin done that recently? Stocks, though, crypto stocks, holy shit. Bullish on Coinbase, by the way. I got a big bag of that and hope that it goes way higher. Key ETH betas like Pepe still suffering under recent support levels here, and major EMAs trending down, threatening a lot of bearish crossovers here in the coming days. MACD trending down, RSI showing weakness. Price has had a slight rally off the lows here, but until it gets back up with the 200-day EMA at 0.000011, probably not super interesting for a trade. Aerodrome Finance, new paradigm money momenting after the big news the other day about the integrations with Coinbase. So big things happening there. Wild chart here, beautiful moves on this. Still a great farming coin, obviously very heavy inflation kind of coin here due to its nature, but it has been having an incredible run, getting up now back into overbought territory, only slightly. The RSI is currently at 71, so it's not like wildly overbought, but watch for that to heat up more in the next few days if market conditions don't totally go to shit. This I could see pushing up to some of the previous support levels, like here at like $1 or $1.20, for example. Wouldn't be too surprising to see if markets can hold up. Now, a retest here around 75 cents of the 200-day EMA. If you're sidelined and you're waiting to get on this train, that could be a good place to enter a position here as well. Oh, okay. My gosh, darn it. I need a drink, man. Got to hydrate. My throat's getting dry from all this damn talking. Bitcoin's going to whip down to 102 to grab liquidity and then back up. Wouldn't surprise me. I sold half at $120, got into the IPO, and only have 5 shares left. Well, you know what, John? You made money, man. You made money. Screw it. You made money. That's good. You know, that initial sale is almost a 5x or whatever. If you still have 5 shares left, I mean, you've almost rode it to a 10x, but like 8x or something like it now, 8.5x. Great. Killer, man. Money's money. Profit's profit. I think Circle is wildly overvalued, by the way. Just personal opinion. I think it's insanely overvalued at the current market cap. Coinbase probably undervalued. If the market really thinks that Circle's worth 45 or almost $50 billion right now, and considering that I think, what is it, Coinbase owns half the revenue of Circle or something like that, plus has a big equity stake in it. You know, I feel like Coinbase probably undervalued in that situation. I would love to get a position in Circle, but not at these kind of prices. Now maybe it keeps pumping and goes to hundreds of billions of dollars, which just wouldn't even make any sense. They have what's the market cap of USDC right now? I mean, there's wild enthusiasm currently over this coin. What do we got? I mean, guys, this is bonkers. The market cap of USDC is $61 billion, okay? And the current price, obviously we still need trading to open here, but after hours trading's got up to $211, giving it a market cap. What is that? me see here. Circle stock price. Here we go. Is this going to give me market cap? I was looking around for the information. Okay, here we go. Market cap 45 billion. So you have another five. Yeah, it's about $50 billion right now. So pre-market's given about $211. Closed yesterday at 199. So literally the market cap of USDC's assets under management is $61 billion, which they're earning about 4.5% on right now because they put it on like US treasuries and stuff like that. So they got that going. I know they have a lot of partnerships and stuff like that, and that also matters. But when a huge percentage of their money is going to Coinbase, which has a $75 billion market cap, like it feels like a bit overblown here. I know everyone's stablecoin exposure, and stablecoin exposure, really the only way to get it is by buying the Circle stock. I get it. But man, it's wildly overvalued at the current prices. And maybe it keeps pumping. Maybe it keeps pumping, man. I wouldn't be shocked. Markets are irrational. But I would like to buy Circle after like a 75, 90% dump, which I might have to wait a long time for that to happen. But I like Circle. I think it's a buy, just not at $211 per stock. That's crazy, man. Okay. Let's continue. We're in crypto and surprised by crazy valuations. No, that's right. I am very used to crazy valuations. Just interesting to see Wall Street pushing such a crazy valuation, considering the fundamentals and actual revenue and stuff of USDC. But hey, you know what? Screw it. I'm celebrating, man. I'm celebrating because I know some of you guys got into that IPO. I know people made money on it. I'm not going to be a hater of people making money. If you're a hater of people making money, you don't make money yourself. Okay. I am not. I am somebody who celebrates people winning. And yes, I did not get into the IPO. C'est la vie. There'll be other opportunities to spend money on. People who did get into the IPO or people who just aped in. I was even thinking about it. It's like day one. It's like, I'm just going to ape in at $60. Like, but at 60, you know, And then at $100 a few hours later, like, shit, I guess I should have aped in at $100. Now it's could have got a 4X, I guess, on that. But anyway, it's all good. If you're making money, I celebrate you as always, because there's so many ways to make money in this market. And I love seeing it happen. Has the XRP ETF been approved? Solmax, there was an XRP ETF approved for Canada. So Canada now has an XRP ETF. Congratulations, Canadians. Not just the best maple syrup in the world, but also an XRP ETF. Of course, you already have a Solana ETF as well in Canada. I don't know what takes US markets so long to catch up to what Canada's doing. But yeah, we've got an XRP ETF in Canada. I mean, look, Canada's 1.5% or something like that of the total global stock market. So it's definitely not as big a deal as the US markets, which are 55% or something of global equity markets. You know, so yay, but also the big one's going to be the US one. That's where the real money is going to come in. Lark, is it possible Bitcoin and ETH eventually decouple from altcoins like Solana and AVAX, forming separate market cycles? I mean, maybe, but right now they all kind of trade in the sort of tech bucket. So in order to see that happen, you really want to see Bitcoin become like a gold asset in people's portfolios, and they'll trade it like gold, but it hasn't really shown all those characteristics yet. Sometimes we correlate with gold, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we correlate more with the NASDAQ. In fact, usually we correlate more with the NASDAQ. So people tend to look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, all this kind of stuff as just tech. And so they trade it like they trade tech in general. So I don't know if we ever get that sort of true breakaway moment for Bitcoin. Other stuff, ETH, I don't know. I mean, how the future values these companies or these blockchains 10, 15, 20 years down the road, it's probably going to take that long. For right now, we trade basically as one whole market, which goes up and goes down. Lark can't stand ADA winning, though. No, I love ADA winning too, man. I do. I don't understand it because the fundamentals are terrible beyond belief. We don't need to kick Cardano in the balls today, but if you guys are making money, I'm celebrating you. Fartcoin ETF coming. The most ridiculous outcome is sometimes the most likely. Hoskinson selling his Cardano. That's pretty crazy, actually, that the Cardano treasury is going to be potentially sold off to buy some Bitcoin. Wild stuff. Don't sleep on Mogcoin. Very popular meme coin, by the way. Anytime soon, we can see Solana above $200. Soon, I don't know. That's a different question. Right now, the charts are not looking super fantastic. We have extreme fear in markets. We have a lot of things that people are worried. I mean, not extreme fear. Let's say it's wrong term. We have a lot of uncertainty in markets that are keeping asset prices kind of down at the moment. So that's kind of problematic. We have the ETF coming. We have treasury companies. So a lot of good things happening for Solana as well. And I'm bullish. I think Solana does pretty well in the rest of the year. That being said, how long till we get back above $200 specifically? I don't know. Let's see what happens this summer. Summers can be low liquidity periods. Add on the tariff stuff, the lack of deals being made. Add on the Iran-Israel conflict and the uncertainty around that, and people aren't going super heavy risk on. They're not going super heavy risk off yet either. So this is encouraging that if we get, again, any sort of positive or even hint of positive news, we get upside risk where markets can pump pretty dramatically pretty quickly because we haven't dumped very dramatically very quickly yet. Okay, we've had some pullbacks, but nothing insane really in markets yet. Everyone's watching. Here we go. Everybody's watching Iran while the Bank of Japan's holding on for dear life. Bank of Japan, man, Japan's in a mess. Big mess. Lark, can you explain what happened to Titcoin? So I was reading a post. Well, let me see if I can find that real quick. There was a guy. Where's the guy? Bring up the Discord real quick. See if I can find that post real quick, because it kind of, we'll do one or two more after this, and then we'll finish up for the day. Where did I put that? Meme coins. Here we go. Just give me a second. I'll find that post real quick. Here we go. This one here. That's from a guy, Hyro Capital. As you all know, my X has been exploding in recent weeks. That's been amazing, bringing attention to Titcoin, but also means my time's completely maxed out. To make sure Titcoin gets the full and divided attention it deserves, because it really does, I decided to shift gears. Don't worry, I'm still a holder and supporter of Titcoin. The original creator of Titcoin, many of you know who this is, has abandoned the project. I saw it coming over the past week or two. It's extremely frustrating and unfortunate for myself because I had belief and trust in this individual, and he promised me only good intentions. That's why I even went above and beyond to help meme, adding and burning $600,000 into the LP, doing hundreds of thousands of dollars in buybacks, and adding to Titcoin reserves.sol because, yeah, F the money. I wanted to have it succeed. I also single-handedly helped the dev and his team fund exchanges out of my own pocket, something they should have been doing themselves. Man, people just get used all the fucking time in this market. It's such a crazy place. You can't trust anybody. Everybody's out to screw you, man. It's wild. It's wild, especially when it comes to these kind of people and meme coins and stuff like that. Anyway. The good news is these people are fully out now. So all the devs are fully out, the team is fully out, and they're doing a community takeover on it. So part of the reason why it dumped from 60 million or whatever down to 10 was the team exiting, basically. Titcoin reserves still have 18 million plus tokens valued around $200,000. I'm going to transfer this to a guy, Ulu, somebody he considers to be trustworthy. Ulu now has full control of the Titcoin X page along with the Telegram. So basically, what you're seeing right now is a community takeover of Titcoin. So I'm tempted to bid, personally. Tempted to bid. Let's see what happens. I married my altcoin bags, now on a divorce, but lose half. It's like a real divorce, man. You lose half your net worth. It's good practice, I guess. It's hard holding underwater bags. Straight up. There's no sugarcoating it. It's fucking tough. And it's been a very tough cycle for the vast majority of altcoins. You know, you got all these exciting good things happening. Oh, look at the adoption stats on Aptos. Nobody gives a shit. Oh, look at how good off the grid game is doing. Fuck it. Dump it 50%. Oh, look at these guys doing, real world asset stuff and huge partnerships and backers. Screw it. Dump it 50%. Talk about Plume. and on and on and on. And there's a few tokens that have done well. Syrup, Hype, Aerodrome, right? XRP charts still looking surprisingly decent after all this. But realistically, it's been a tough ride, okay? So the question becomes is, do you think that the best days of crypto are ahead of us? I firmly believe that's the case. I feel like we're in such a crazy paradoxical moment right now because of the tariff stuff, because of the Iran-Israel conflict. People are hesitating to go heavy into risk right now. But we see some resolution around that stuff, markets will pump. If we see escalation of that stuff, markets will dump. We're at that kind of situation right now. The fundamentals of crypto have literally never been better. Literally never been better. The Genius Act just passed the Senate. JP Morgan's launching a stable coin. All the big banks, all the big Amazon, Walmart, everybody wants to launch stable coins and issue out crypto wallets, and it's going to be nuts. And they're easing banking restrictions for bonds, which means more money is going to come into the markets overall. Global M2 is still pumping. All these good things are happening, and yet the price isn't moving, which makes me feel like we're in this calm before the storm moment. We just hope that the storm is the kind of storm that, you know, sends us flying, not sinking. Anyway, I think we finished up there. We're up to 40 minutes, guys. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for joining today's stream, and I'll see you back tomorrow for the last stream of the week and give away another $1,000. Thanks, guys. But Unix. Peace.